Coming up on Real TV, I'll give you some tips on how to balance school and work at the same time.
Today on Real TV, the annual Mr. and Miss Stratford pageant is tomorrow. Get a behind-the-scenes look at all the preparation that goes into it.
Plus, ever wonder what your teacher did before being a teacher? Some of them tell us about their first jobs.
And we'll get you caught up on all the Stratford athletics.
It's Friday, January 13th, 2017, and this is Real TV Online.
Hello, I'm Sarah McDowell.
And I'm Kyle Thomas. Welcome back from winter break, and thank you for joining us for our first online show of 2017.
The first big event of the year is the Mr. and Miss Stratford pageant that takes place tomorrow.
Real TV reporter Jillian Ruley shows us how hard these 24 seniors have been working to get ready for the big show.
The Mr. and Miss Stratford is a pageant for just seniors. It's a big accomplishment to be a part of the pageant. This is the only event where contestants are chosen by both teachers and their peers.
I feel really honored. I know there's like a huge senior class that everyone could have picked from, but I'm glad my teachers selected me to do it.
Students are first nominated by teachers based on character, honesty, academic success, and school spirit worthy of representing Stratford.
Students are first nominated by their teachers, and it takes X amount of nominations to get on the ballot.
From those nominations, the senior class votes and 12 girls and 12 guys are selected as contestants. This is not your typical beauty pageant. Judging is conducted on their skit, formal wear, and the biggest part is the interviews which take place before the pageant on Saturday morning. Although contestants are partnered up, the judging is done on the individual.
The skits, you have to come up with it by yourself, and I'm not a creative person, so it was very hard to be funny when I'm not a funny person.
The contestants have a week and a half of preparation and must create a dance and a skit to perform with their partner.
I believe the hardest part is probably all the dancing.
Then comes the formal wear. Although they are a little nervous, most of the contestants are eager to get on stage.
I'm most excited for the formal wear because I love to look nice, especially when I am in front of a huge crowd.
While being on stage is nothing new to some of the contestants, most of them have never competed in a pageant or performed in front of a live audience.
Because everyone else is like really good at dancing, but then I'm horrible at dancing. I'm not even coordinated at all.
There's sure to be a lot of nervous energy the night of the pageant, but overall the seniors are happy to make more memories before graduation.
I think it's going to be really fun. It's definitely been a challenge, like preparing and everything.
I find it very exciting.
There's a theme chosen by student council each year, and this year is the Roaring Twenties. The pageant will be emceed by Media Tech teacher Mr. Fabiano, who is a contestant in the pageant himself 10 years ago.
It is the most fun week of their entire high school career.
Come watch their hard work play out on stage this Saturday. It's sure to be a roaring good time. I'm Jillian Rui for Real TV.
The pageant is tomorrow at 7 o'clock. Tickets are $10 at the door. From high heels to cleats, another popular event coming up is the Powder Puff Game.
This is an annual flag football game between the all grades, and it's just for the ladies of Stratford. It takes place on January 26th at 6 p.m. In 1 week, Donald Trump will be inaugurated as our 45th president.
Reporter Connor Smith tells us a little bit about what we can expect when Trump takes over the Oval Office.
Donald Trump is the president-elect of the United States. A businessman with no prior political or military experience started a movement that elected him president. This 2016 election was truly unprecedented, and now that it's over, we need to prepare for President Trump's policies. One of his signature policies is his immigration policy, particularly the wall.
Parts of the wall, as he said, some parts that may require a fence, but in terms of constructing a border barrier, that will absolutely happen.
Trump has also given his policies about LGBT communities, including allowing gay marriage and allowing transgender people to choose their own bathrooms.
Trump, obviously being from New York, on a lot of the social issues such as gay marriage, is pro-gay marriage. When the bathroom issue erupted, he said, leave it, it's no big deal.
Trump has addressed directly what he would do in his first 100 days of office.
The first one, repealing and replacing Obamacare, and what, of course, keeping some parts of it, like he said, staying on your parents' insurance until you're 26, pre-existing conditions, which was the big issue in terms of driving cost up. So Obamacare and then trade, the main three things that he campaigned on.
Because Republicans also hold a majority of the House and Senate, the chances of a Trump bill being approved are higher.
Democrats outside of Obama himself have been absolutely wiped out. They now control almost nothing. They don't control the House, the Senate, the White House. They won't control the Supreme Court. They control very few states in terms of governors.
But some believe many of the policies that he proposed during his campaign will not actually carry over into his presidency.
I think that he'll really have to moderate his message, and he won't be able to do as many of the policies that he promised on the campaign trail, and he's really going to have to examine himself and really try to fix it.
Despite backlash, Trump still wants the country to come together and heal any wounds. Reporting for Real TV, I'm Connor Smith.
As Trump takes on his new big job as president, several of us back home are also managing a job while going to school and other activities.
Reporter Madison McElhaney shows us what it takes to maneuver a job, school, and social activities.
Many of us teens who work struggle with balancing work and school. Alejandra Lazo is an employee at Plato's Closet. At her job, she stays busy running and tagging the clothes, straightening the store, checking out customers, and sorting through the buys that customers bring in. As a senior, she is equally as busy with her schoolwork.
My workload consists of tagging clothes, censoring it, running it from the rack in the back, making sure I'm having friendly customer service, making sure the customers are happy.
I'm a host at a restaurant, so I'm like just running back and forth, seating people. Sometimes I run food, sometimes I take orders.
If you are looking to get a job, you have to be responsible and hardworking. You have to be able to have a great personality to be able to have good customer service. You also have to manage your time wisely so you are able to keep your grades up as well as making some money.
To anyone wanting to get a job in high school, I say you would have to be responsible and you'd have to have good time management and be able to balance school and work, your homework, and getting paid, making money.
School comes first, so if you don't think you can handle school and work, don't get a job.
There are many places where teens can get jobs. Many stores look for certain age and qualities in people that are searching for a job.
We look for strong work ethic. People are really good team players. We like to look for people who are outgoing and really love clothes and like working with people. We love having high school employees because it brings a lot of energy to our team and it lets us be in tune with what's going on with our customers because we are a teen store.
Don't start working many hours immediately. Gradually go into longer shifts. Plan your classes and work schedules out as soon as possible and use your time wisely. And I'm Madison McElhaney reporting for Real TV.
Thanks, Madison. It may be hard to imagine, but most, if not all, of our teachers had other jobs than teaching.
We wanted to know what was their first job. That's the question in this week's Stratford Speaks.
I would work summers with my father and my uncle's workshop, manufacturing stair treads and parts for stairs.
Before I was a counselor, I actually worked in college admissions for about 8 years. So that's why I really love working with my seniors and helping them do their college applications. So yeah, that's what I did in New York, actually.
During college, I worked at Barnes & Noble, which I actually still work there, but I worked there part-time all throughout school.
When I first graduated from college, I worked as a computer programmer for several years. Then after graduate school and before becoming a teacher, I worked in a variety of jobs in the financial markets.
My first job before I started teaching was at a red and white grocery store in Monk's Corner. My mother helped me get a job there from Mr. Ralph West, God rest his soul. Started as a bag boy, and then I was promoted to cashier. After doing a phenomenal job at the cashier, I was also asked to help in the produce section. And then I had an opportunity to work in the meat department and actually cut and package meat.
Before I started teaching 24 years ago, I was at USC working at Burger King as a cashier, drive-through.
I worked at Medieval Times as a server. I went to Coastal Carolina University, worked a few jobs at Sports Authority and NASCAR Speed Park, but the job right before I started teaching was Medieval Times. I used to be the one to come around and make you wear the crowns on your head. And if you didn't, I didn't serve you. And fun fact for you, my wife and I worked together at Medieval Times. People don't know that. We met in college at NASCAR Speed Park. We both left and went to Medieval Times together. So fun fact for you.
Now let's get caught up with Stratford sports.
Here's Drake Bowen with the sports report.
Our boys basketball team suffered a setback Friday against our crosstown rival Goose Creek. 4 Gators players scored in double figures Friday at the Goose Creek topped the Knights at Stratford 68-51. For the Knights, senior Craig Sabb led all the scorers with 18 points. The Knights got back on the horse Tuesday, though, beating Ashley Ridge in a tight game 56-53. Sabb scored 24 of the Knights' 56 points. The Knights now stand 11-4 overall and are 3-2 in the region. They are still chasing Goose Creek, who remains undefeated in the region 7-5A. The boys are back in action in the game tonight against Wando. Tip-off is at 8:30. Also on the court, our girls team suffered a tough loss to the Gators Friday. Taisha Bostic led the ladies, scoring 11 points. Bostic also scored 12 points Tuesday against Ashley Ridge, but it wasn't enough to overcome the Swamp Foxes Tuesday night. The girls will try to end their 2-game region losing streak tonight as they host the region's second-best girls team, Wando. Tip-off is at 7:30. On the ice, our hockey team has improved to 2 games so far this season. Real TV reported Nicole Crumry caught up with the Knights on the ice and has more on their season.
Here at Stratford, playing on a grassy field or on a hard court isn't the only option for athletes. For the Knights hockey team, the North Charleston Ice Palace is a second home. This is where they practice and have their hockey matches.
I just like having fun out there and playing.
I had a real passion for the sport.
While the game of hockey may not be as popular here in the South, it's a popular sport worldwide. Fans of hockey love the high intensity of the game. It's a game of speed that involves a lot of physical contact. With 12 players on the ice at a time, skating with sticks in hand, chasing a 3-inch puck, there's bound to be some injuries. That's why the pads and the hockey mask are needed. And like no other sport, there's a penalty box when the players get a little too rough on the ice.
Probably having bigger players out there and knowing I have competition.
Last year, they had a winless season and started this season the same way. They finally got a win in the 7th game over Greenville. First year Coach Jason Curtis says the win was a big motivation for the guys.
The biggest thing that's important to a hockey team is playing together and playing smart, recognizing what's going on the ice, and the boys did a good job of that this evening.
This year, there are 12 players on the team. Many have played on other teams and bring that experience with them. Junior Jordan Stone has played for 6 years and is goalie for the Knights.
I try my best to stop the puck so I don't let goals in.
Freshman Luke Holston joined the first time this year and looks forward to seeing what the future will bring for the Knights.
Try to go as far as I can and see where I make it.
Their hard work at practices and their shared love of the game shines through when they get on the ice. So if you want to see some high-intensity Stratford spirit, come to one of their games at the Carolina Ice Palace. I'm Nicole Crumry, reporting for Real TV.
The next time the team will be hitting the ice is Friday when they take on Bishop England in Porter Gaud. The puck drops at 6 at the Carolina Ice Palace. The Knights wrestling team is off to a strong start this season. The Knights just lost their first region match Tuesday against Ashley Ridge, 37-31. Real TV reporter Zach Leamer has spent a lot of time with the team and gives us an inside look at the Knights wrestlers.
Wrestling is a sport at Stratford that doesn't get all the hype as some of the others, but that doesn't mean they don't work as hard as everyone else. Wrestling is a sport that is individual, but also a team sport. When you are on the mat, you are all by yourself wrestling, but you earn points for your team by winning your match.
It's an individual sport, but also it takes a team aspect to get the job done.
The team as a whole and the individual wrestlers have the same goal, to be state champions.
I feel like we're going to take region, try to come out win state,
Last year, the team won the 4A Region 7 championship, but got knocked out of the playoffs by Lexington High School. Even though last season didn't end exactly how they wanted, they would still rate this season pretty good.
It was pretty good overall, though.
In the practice room, wrestlers are working hard to achieve their goals of being state champs. They work hard every day from 4 to 6 and even over holiday breaks have practices at 10 in the morning. There's also competition within the teams to help them strive to be the best they can be. The coaches give out weekly wrestling awards, some including Most Exciting Match, Fastest Fall, and Most Takedowns. But aside from all the wins and losses, the team is a family to some of the wrestlers. Sophomore Kevin Mood is completely in with that concept.
Be with my family. They're like bros.
Sports may be competitive, but the fun is also a main component to people wrestling.
I like the sport. It's nice and fun.
With wrestling season starting to pick up, the team is looking forward to take down teams on their way to state. And I'm Zach Lamer, reporting for Real TV.
Today and tomorrow, our boys will compete in the Battery Creek Duels Tournament. This is a 2-day event. Good luck to the team. The boys soccer team is finally underway after a new head varsity coach was named. Coach Jesse Statement will take charge as our boys begin the grind for the season. Conditioning has already started, and that is every day after school at 4:30. After school weightlifting has started and is every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and this is for any athlete that does not weightlift during school. If you've been watching all the show all year, then you know our boys in Real TV have a series of challenges that will face off against each other in each sport. This edition of Real TV Challenges, the boys are competing in volleyball.
This week on Real TV Challenges, we tackle volleyball. We start off with Adam and I going against Drake and Garland. The first to 7 wins.
Drake and I lost the first challenge, so me and Drake have the first X. Next we do one-on-ones. Person who has the most X's lose.
1, 2, Garland. Wait, no, it's 0.
I lost. 2. Oh no. Oh!
Drake loses. What? That's out of bounds. Ref! Face serve! Ref! Sir!
How does that make you feel?
Ah! Out! 1-0 Quincy.
Sir, how do you feel that you might actually win this first challenge?
You know, this is like a pinnacle moment in my
Shut up, please, sir!
I'd like to thank my mom.
Alright, good job, let's do this.
Alright.
Chew.
Match, point. Toad, looking sad.
Oh!
That was the worst thing I've seen in a while.
Point, Drake!
No!
Quincy lost. Drake!
Me and Quincy tied for overall loser with Garland in second and Adam the overall winner. We will be having a Twitter poll to see which one of us has the best serve, so make sure to go on Twitter and vote.
Oh, that was better. You're a monster.
We've been running a Twitter poll for you guys to vote on which had the best spike. Here are the results. Adam just barely edged out Garland with 38% to 36%, while Quincy and I tied with 13% of the vote. Thanks for voting. And that's it for sports.
And that's all for this episode of Real TV Online.
We'll see you again on January 27th.